Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the LCK Spring 2025.
Trap the Viking in a cage, as you cannot trap him in a top lane.
Is he just?
He is just he's ghosting. He's ghosting. We're killing him right now, as he'll land the undertow and down goes Faker. There is nowhere he can go. He knew he couldn't flash. Vikla almost dies for it and has to sacrifice his flash, but that's first. Yeah, no, he needs to be playing Brolaf actually, but he doesn't. Yep, Sobro just calling out the timings. Says we got him. Man, this guy's, he's got some vibes. He is helping out, as now we've got to dive towards the bottom side of the map. That bailout is not happening, as Kellen will go down. It is a 1-for-1 sacrifice, as Ona will come on over and catch this wave. But Gumayushi, he's not going to be getting the experience for that. Still having a great time in this lane, as we can see.
Yeah, Olaf's his base stats are...
Not bad. Not bad. Does have a decent amount of being able to stay alive as well in the kit, although it's not really working against a bunch of ghouls. The Morning Mist may need to be used here, as, yep, that's just a solo kill for Doran. So
that's challengers, baby!
And Chronic, and so he goes back and he buys himself a Phage, teleports towards that top side of the map. And Faker putting on some pressure here in the mid lane as well, as Vikla may just die as the Arcane Storm comes through. Faker is going to get killed by Tibbers, because Tibbers gets real mad after Annie goes down. So a 1-for-1 trade in the mid lane, as I guess it actually works out for BNK, because
actually looking great outside of, you know, Sobro getting solo killed. I mean, that part was...
When it comes to, like, Olaf play, I think getting solo killed so that it's a reference to Iron Maiden, I just feel like that'd be metal.
It would be cool.
She's not, though, as we can see here. Doran is now in a little bit of trouble, ladies and gentlemen. The reckless swing, there's the shot. This is exactly how Olaf wants to play the game, and that is killing you and dying.
That's peak right there.
I don't know if it's good for Sobro, but he is doing stuff that he wants to do. As all right, True Shot Barrage is going to soften up these Void Grubs. Carry is going in. Pop Blossom's coming down as well, though the Fate's Call needs to be invested. My God, those Tangle Barbs were so good. As now Vikla is going to try and take down Gumayushi, but he gets bailed out of that one. Yeah. Ona down to 100 health, and Faker is looking to clean this one up. Kellen, not a whole lot he can do as well. We're going to have a look at this replay first, though, as Sobro does that thing where he says, I'm going to run at you and hit you with axes and stuff, and then I'm dead.
If he had mana...
Ona is playing super far up. Some aggressive play out of the man, as the Crab going to move back towards T1.
They're about to be a member up. I don't know about this for BNK.
A little bit dicey here as the Maiden comes down. Doran gets involved a little bit early, though, as now the Paranoia comes in. They look to just get rid of this Xin Zhao as quickly as possible, and Wind doesn't have time to become lightning because he's dead. Kellen now doing his very best to survive, but he's going to get smoked down where he stands, and it's a double kill for Ona. Another one going over to Doran as he takes down Diablo. And it is going from bad to worse, as yes, Ragnarok doesn't get you out of the ghoulie wall, as it turns out. And so Sobro is...
just gonna die?
Possibly just dead. Yeah, the Morning Mist is gonna be able to slow him down. And there is the kill onto the Olaf. And man, it was such a great start for BNK.
Isn't that just the worst matchup imaginable? Because like you don't get to trade, you don't have range, and they've had either Carrier or Ona just continuously hovering.
I would say that Faker is in trouble, but he's not. True Shot Barrage is going to snag him, but there's the Paranoia. Vikla may be in trouble, but that is...
Turn?
Yeah, the turn is going to come on through here, as Ona taking a lot of damage. Pop Blossom holds him in place. He does get a kill before that even happens, though, as the bailout not quite able to work here, as the ghoulie wall also not quite happening. And there's Sobro, ladies and gentlemen. It's the double, and now Diablo trying to get amongst it. Faker throws down the gravity field.
It's good, no? If you're Nocturne?
I mean, yeah, it does make some sense, but, you know, Stride Break is a pretty powerful item if you can get in amongst it, as Vikla is now dead, ladies and gentlemen. Doran is going to just allow his Maiden to kill him. Look at this! It's an NPC battle in the bottom lane. But the NPC is now annoying. Carrier continuing to find these handshakes.
Well, the poke, they're playing for...
It's really smart from T1. They're just trying to create some space here as they go in onto Owner, and the Pop Blossom finds everyone! The bailout comes down yet again. They do kill the Nico, though, and so Owner stays alive for a long time into the backline. Goes the Olaf, but he's unable to get on top of Gumayushi. He uses those summoner spells so beautifully. And I was about to say T1 just had the positional advantage around that mid lane, and they utilize it so beautifully to just say no to BNK. They're going to look for even an inner turret off the back end of this as well. Oh man, I feel like they took so much from BNK just going for a desperation engage.
Killing Owner is nice, but that's not really what the goal of the composition is.
Like, you can take the Doran out of the build, you can't take him off the Rift. He will still just go for the team fights. And he's finding it once again. Carrier up here alongside him. Let's see whether Doran and the Maiden can survive as the bailout does come in. The health bar is not going to quite be low enough, though, as Diablo gets close, to be perfectly honest. Owner on the cross map is going to be taking the second dragon for T1, as the Rift Herald does deal with this top outer turret. Still actually a bit of a help here for BNK. Outside of the fact that they lose the dragon, they may be able to get another charge. As you can see here, they do manage to collect it, so half health on the inner turret. Top lane, still, they're just not going to go for it. They don't have the confidence. And the Arakan just going to go over to T1.
Was a little worried when I saw that TP, but Carrier ensures, together with Owner, that operation make sure Doran doesn't get instantly blown up is a success.
Considering going to be without a Callista. That being said, he is actually taking the Wolves instead. Diablo trying to do it one more time as Faker. If at first or second you don't succeed, try again. And unfortunately, don't try again, because it never really works here, ladies and gentlemen. Owner, though, is going low. Carrier bails himself out, but it's not quite going to work, as it's a 1-for-1 trade. Vikla, unfortunately, just doesn't have the health bar to survive in these fights. And Doran is just still taking the base.
It's still kind of a window. Oh, they're not going to go for... I thought they were going to actually go for Dragon. There's no TPs. I think they could have. Instead, they're looking for the collapse onto Doran, who is going to trade his life for an inhib, which I think you're not too sad about. If you can turn it into Dragon.
Well, let's see what he can actually find here, as he's going to flash. There's a blast cone.
Never mind.
Never mind. A-okay.
Really felt like they could have gotten him from more angles and probably killed him. I feel like they always go out in style. They do go out a lot because they're 5 and 9.
And it's not even necessarily in style, but it is on their own terms. That is definitely a fact. That's all right. Dragon going to be secured. That is soul point going to get taken down by.
He did get his revenge.
He did. The revenge of the Merc Wolf. As all right, Vikla, let's do it. Doran doesn't get stunned though, and he just wanders out of range. He places Sobero in a circle, and now he's just looking to kill him. There he goes. Vikla now in a bit of, not a bit of trouble. He's dead. Yeah, Doran is way too large. Now T1 should be able to take themselves a Baron, because Doran just like 1v2 double kills.
He's going to end the game.
Yeah, all that.
He's going to... Raptor can steal.
Yeah, does it matter though is the question. The smite is not even required because the rend is what secures it. Down goes this Xin Zhao, and Kellen in this side lane will not be able to do anything to Olaf. Yeah, Diablo is going to get back to base, but I think a lot of him wishes he didn't. As, yeah, he's on the fountain, but the Maiden does not care about your fountain. And Doran doesn't care about. I'll make sure that I'm checking it out. It is going to be the Braum Lucian, which is one of my personal favorites, favorite Lucian lanes.
We did just pick Nautilus into Braum. Although he doesn't have his ultimate available yet, I would love a dive from Raptor here towards Doran, but Owner is covering that bot lane right now. Those are some very aggressive plays being set up.
Yep,
oh, he's out of the curve.
Yep, they're slamming each other into walls, and that is just the quickest of cooks here for Doran. Man, that's like he was making like a salmon steak. You know, you really just want a real high
for him.
Yep.
And these, which you can just get all those off. Definitely very annoying to deal with. As Doran picked up the kill. Are you like a reverse sear guy?
Yeah, I've recently got into it.
He's also getting reverse seared.
Yeah, this is the reverse sear as well, because this is Doran getting seared. He was greeting for a minion wave that he wasn't allowed to walk up to.
Doran, you have a job. It's to get POM.
I went to the school of Daniel Orcs Harrison, okay?
Outcome.
And outcome-based assessment is our pledge, you know, to stay unbiased. As Emperor's Divide going to come on through there, and oh my goodness! It's the combo, and it works out gloriously as BNK not going to be able to find too much here towards the top side. His owner is going to just shove Vikla into the wall. He is going to get convinced to leave this area, but already has done a fair bit of work.
Oh, you mean owner? Yeah, owner does have to leave.
Yeah, sorry, it wasn't Vikla. Vikla didn't really mind about the whole situation.
No ult for owner, so not ready to worry. We're 2v2ing here with Jace.
Yeah, not sure about this one, as the exhaust does come on through. Gumayusi trying to stand his ground as Soboro flashes away. Gumayusi gets into the mist, flashes up, but he does get the heal. And still Gumayushi's going to be able to pick up the kill now, the Piercing Darkness. And look at the heals that come in the whole time from Gumayusi and Carrier. And Guma, get back here! What are you doing? You could have killed him! Instead, the red dots.
Also, Diablo was like, oh, kills for me. Soboro, as that Q, could have been the difference maker with how low this gets. Guma gets a 2-man Q, and then here, damage goes down onto Carrier. That exhaust, right? Like, Soboro, especially in melee form, hard to get through. But just that little bit of extra damage could have been the difference between Carrier living and dying. And then here, I think he could have walked it off.
Yeah, honestly, like, it was the fact that Kellen got the heal and it felt so good, and now it feels absolutely horrible. As Raptor comes in, Gumayusi might be dead, as he's going to see what he can do, but the heroic charge going to be enough there, as supportal combat will complete the play. And out goes Vikla here, as Doran says, no, not my lane. Even BNK are really far behind.
But I want you to look me in the eye and tell me, do you really think T1 isn't still going to fight every single fight?
Oh yeah, but the fact that they're winning is the huge problem, because I don't think that they should. As Carrier's going to find the hook. There's the Dawning Shadow as the Impale comes through as well. Diablo will get taken out. They will be able to trade one back because the Keeper's Verdict works out very nicely. But still, Raptor's going to get delivered to this turret. And even though they don't have a massive amount of damage, it was Viper.
No, Viper went also for the same build. I forgot who it was.
Oh, was there another one?
There was a third center.
Oh, golly. Was that earlier on? Well, we've got a bit of a fight breaking out here as Carrier taking a fair bit of damage. Over the wall goes the cullinged up
Doran!
That equalizer placement! Oh, Doran! POM time, baby! It's POM time for Doran as he picks up the double! And Soboro, he's there towards the top side. He's looking to grab a couple of plates before they dissipate. Got under a minute for that, but Doran's making his way back up there again. Have you got the sheet? You reckon it's time to ride it?
His first debut 3 years ago, he played against Zeus.
Yep. And now he's playing against Doran on like his best day.
Domestic Doran.
Yeah.
And Domestic Doran was, you know, we didn't really see him for the first, I want to say like 4 months, but he's back.
Oh yeah.
Domestic Doran is here to stay.
Well, there's international Doran's turning up.
Okay. Even for me, this is a bit much. Okay. This is.
That was such.
Who's Willikers?
I have no idea. It's just a thing. I remember I heard it in a movie or something at some point in my life. Can't quite remember where. As Vikla looking for an angle, gets the flash this time. They find another heroic charge into the wall supplied by the Azir. They'll grab themselves a turret as well. BNK, some signs of life here as they move into a gold advantage.
I'm going to lose the Otacon for this, it looks like.
Hey,
OTP on
this
Vikla.
gold lead is extending though.
Yeah, that is true. I don't think that'll be enough as Kellen is watching it happen. Mid-lane turret might go down as well. They can go for this for sure.
Well, they don't. They've got another pack of
wave's
minions.
here.
Yeah, so Otacon is going to be traded for an inhibitor turret in the bottom lane, and an inner turret, and an outer turret, and an outer turret in mid lane as well.
3 turrets? Wasn't Doran still underneath it?
Yeah. So it was the out
overcommitment to BNK.
Yep.
Towards this mid lane turret. BNK not going to fall for it because Diablo is probably going to finish his second item. Be feeling good about that. There is the IE, so do like that setup.
Towards the turret and die. Because that's what happens if you just crash Shelly into a wall.
Oh, RFC done for Guma now as well.
All right, there's the Flash Impale! Emperor's Divide does absolutely nothing as Vikla is just going to get executed by this dragon. 234 stacks, and as it comes in, T1 says it's time to fight. The equalizer got Diablo out of that battle entirely as the minion wave is getting thinned out. Dawning Shadow comes through. That's going to keep Doran alive. And T1, they can just keep regenning.
Winning as Mansoul.
Yep.
One of the big win conditions that are still left for BNK are poke from Azir and Jace. That's gone. And Diablo all-inning.
Yep.
Also, the narrative vote, it's going to be Doran. I also think that in this game you can give it to multiple people, and in game 1 it was definitely Doran, so I'm
Oh, that slam! That was real sexy there from Ona. He's getting my POM. I don't have one, but he's getting it if he wants it. And it's going to be the lockdown of Sobero.
Owner hasn't gone on POM in like a series, Atlas.
I know!
So
he's not playing.
I want to focus on the game, Atlas.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Game, focus,
exactly.
broadcast
T1
first.
BNK, Baron. That's what we're looking towards now. Rocks are being thrown around. Faker is flying around. Well, walking at the moment, but he could fly if he wants to.
He's doing some flapping.
Indeed. Control ward.
That's carry by the way. That's not farming Nautilus. That's a normal Nautilus.
Yeah, this one does have a locket though. Sobero going to dive in on top of Doran here. Let's see who wins this 1v1. As Equalizer goes down and Sobero is just dead, ladies and gentlemen. Back on POM duty here is Doran. He's like, I gave you guys a shot. Because that
our head. Yes. Don't pretend you're any better than me.
No, I try to hide mine though.
Don't.
Right. Fake is going to get flashed on. That could be the opportunity here as they do get a nice double knock-up. But that's it. That's the initial salvo. They almost got through it. Yeah, Dragon Shield. Owner is actually taking real damage though. But here is the equalizer. My God, the value is disgusting as his Flame Spitter comes down as well. Now it's Gumayushi untouched. They manage to get the Impale off. Down goes the Skarner, but that is all they're going to get as Sobero. He's just looking to make his way out. It is a 1-for-4, and T1 will now march up this bottom lane. They can take themselves an Elder Drake if they'd like to. The Rift is their oyster.
T1 really playing it
safe.
safe.
Is going to be addressed whatsoever here by BNK. Everything is so dark, and it is most certainly full of terrors. That was, oh God.
One achieved.
Yep.
That's a scary sneeze, Atlas.
1 minute, reminding us of how that Smolder meta felt as that inhibitor turret going to go down, and BNK just watching their options slip away if there were any left to begin with. Mum goes down, and so do the Nexus turrets. There's a hook. Kellen going to be flashing away here as the equalizer has taken them to half health on its own. It's on, like they're almost about to die to just the equalizer and an Elder Dragon.
Turret still standing, trying to hold on. And T1, still 30 seconds. They can try and play as the hook.
Carrier, that was so weird, but I loved it. He manages to find a stun onto Diablo as well. The Impale connects onto 2. The bottom lane is melted in an instant as the Emperor's Divide does nothing. There goes the Nexus turret. That is the clean ace, and T1 will scale their way to a 33-minute victory here in Game 2.